Today is the third session of the Emotional Harmony Seminar, and we're going to continue discussing the effect of addictions or attachments on our emotional life. And we'll start out with a discussion of the 7 centers of consciousness. 7 centers of consciousness. The concept here is that each person is motivated by his needs. Basically, everything that we do in life, we do it because there is a need which motivates us, which propels us to do that. And that there is a hierarchy of needs. That is, that there are basic needs which need to be fulfilled first. And when those needs or desires are fulfilled, then we begin to feel the next needs, the higher needs. And it's like a step ladder of ascending a staircase of various needs. Let's see how that fits in with the 7 centers of consciousness. The first center of consciousness, which is located at the base of the spine, is the security center. When we function from this center, when our actions are based on this center of consciousness, we seek security through whatever we do. So if we approach a person supposedly out of love, it's very possible that what we're saying here is that when I say I love you, what we're really saying is I need you in order to feel secure. It is not, if you like, a pure love. It's a feeling of love, but there's also a feeling of need, that I cannot feel secure without this person. Or we may approach our job, our profession, out of a need for security, rather than out of a need for meaningfulness, or need for creativity, or need for service. But see, one can approach his work needing security, or needing to offer, or needing to find a meaning in life. So we see that it's not the action which can tell us what the need is, but it's the motive with which we approach which we perform this action. So that we can approach a person out of love, we can approach a person out of need. And often we do both. We approach a person with both of these together. So when we are functioning from the first center of consciousness, we are dependent on persons or objects or situations or even substances such as cigarettes or coffee or tranquilizers or alcohol outside of ourselves in order to feel secure. And when we can't have that, when we are deprived of that person or that object or that situation or that substance or that activity, then we feel insecurity. There's a sense of fear. The first center of consciousness and the first need that a person has to fulfill is to feel secure. If he cannot feel secure, he cannot think about pleasure, he cannot think about knowledge, he cannot think about love, he cannot think about anything else. He has to first feel secure. Let us make a distinction, however, between being secure and feeling secure. There are millions of people who are materially secure, as secure as someone can be materially, because in the material world, in reality, there is no security. you never know when a brick is going to fall on your head. You're going to leave the physical world. So you never know when there's going to be an earthquake or a fire. You can have all the money in the world and all of the friends in the world, and in a few minutes later you could not even exist. You could, everything could be destroyed. So in reality, security based on the physical world is impossible. But there is a general sense of security that I have a house, I have enough money in order to have my clothing, my food, I have people around me who care for me. That is, persons have everything that they should have in order to feel, to lifestyle at least fairly secure. But they do not feel secure. Other people have nothing. I have seen beggars on the street in India who appear to me anyway much happier than many people that I know here in Greece, who have everything that they need to have. And they don't have any insecurity, these people. They have nowhere to sleep. They have no home. They sleep on the road every day. But they are smiling all day long. So there's a big difference between being secure, that is having what we need to feel secure, and feeling secure. Once we begin feeling secure, then our energy goes to the second center. And the second center of consciousness is the pleasure center. The center through which we try to obtain the feeling of pleasure. Now, pleasure is a state of consciousness which we feel when there is a stimulus given to the nervous system. That stimulus could be to the skin, it could be sexual, it could be food, it could be sights and sounds or smells, it could be chemical substances such as tranquilizers or alcohol or drugs of some type, which create a sense of pleasure. It's a stimulus, an excitement, or a relaxation of the nervous system. When we identify or relate our sense of pleasure with an external stimulus, and this repeats itself a number of times, we gradually become addicted to this external source. It's a source of stimulation or relaxation, whatever it may be, a substance, a person, an activity, a sight, visual or oral, or acoustic. We begin to believe that we must have that in order to feel pleasure, or that we must have that in order to feel well. And we become addicted to that. And then when we don't have it, we feel deprivation and all of the symptoms of deprivation. We feel anxiety, we feel nervousness, we feel unhappy, we feel depressed. We begin to desire it intensely, and how we can get it again in order to be satisfied. The satisfaction lasts for a certain period of time, depending on the stimulus. I mean, if it's a candy bar, it could be 15 minutes before the pleasure goes by, and then we're feeling drained of energy or guilty or whatever each person, whatever beliefs each person has about his various pleasures. We're not saying here that pleasures are evil. We're just simply saying that if I am locked into a certain pleasure addiction, and that addiction is destroying my health, or destroying or causing me to lose large amounts of time or energy, or creating conflict with people around me, then I may want to analyze and to see whether keeping this addiction is useful at this point, or whether it would be more useful to free myself from that addiction. So